All right, let's get started here. We're going to bring them out. Draft winners and loser round one. Obviously, first winner is Cam Ward. Overall, first pick to Tennessee at quarterback. Hey, he'll come in, probably take over the number one spot right out of camp, I would assume. And with every winner, you're going to have a loser, right? So bring out the loser. We have Will Levis, all right? Will Levis was the quarterback. Will Levis finished 30th at quarterback and averaged only 10 points a game. So he just hasn't delivered in the 2 years. Very low average. Hasn't really caught on. So they're going to move on. I have Brandon Allen as the backup. All right. I think that means I think they'll end up making a move. This Will Levis, hey, he's just under 2026 contract. He'll be a rookie. I mean, he's still under the rookie, not only making $2 million. So they might get some trade capital if they could trade him because he's not, his future's done there, right? So next winner we have Travis Hunter at wide receiver for Jacksonville, right? Gonna come in, play wide receiver, gonna practice with the wide receivers, probably in the cornerbacks too. But hey, starts out here. I've got him penciled in as the number two right there, receiver. Of course, you're going to be behind Brian Thomas Jr., who finished fourth overall. Just a great rookie year. One of the top rookie years of the last 20 years he had. So just a great year for him. Hey, and the loser, of course, is going to be, and the loser is going to be Gabe Davis, right? Gabe Davis, a year or two ago, was brought over from Buffalo. Big free agency. Finished 105 at 3.6. Just doesn't do any good here. I have De'Ami Brown ranked ahead of him. Now, why do I have De'Ami Brown ranked ahead of him? Well, they just signed him to a 1-year, $10 million contract. GM before the draft said he'd be a compliment to Brian Thomas Jr. Well, he might be complimenting the third spot on the team, and that pushes Gabe Davis right off. Or hopefully they'd try to get something out of him. Problem is, he's, of course, under contract $13 million a year for 2 more years. So maybe they can move him cheap or cut him and get some money back. Or, whew. Anyway, let's bring out the next winners, Genty in Vegas, right? Running back. Brought him in. He'll obviously move right to the top of the depth chart there, right? So we have him penciled in as the one they can use at 32 second team in rushing last year. Of course, they had brought in Raheem Mostert, so but some of his best days must be behind him. He didn't really fire. The loser here I have is Amir Abdullah. Right, Amir Abdullah, who, and well, he averaged 5 points a game, 41st running back overall. Didn't quite make top 40, but 41st, and he was scoring pretty good. But I got him. I don't even have him. I have Mostert now. I went in and list White because they haven't re-signed Amir Abdullah. All right. So, and hey, Amir Abdullah was one of the most efficient. I think he was in the top 10. If you look at my efficiency rankings on those running backs last video, hey, he was doing 80%. That was really good for them. So, hey, he's kind of going to be out there with maybe somebody to sign him, but he was a big loser for them. Let's bring out the next winner, of course, is Ted McMillan, right? He comes in, picked 8th overall by the Carolina at wide receiver. Gonna probably, I'd assume, that number one spot, right? When the cupboard's bare, he comes in. Probably they give Bryce Young some help. That's what he needs. Team 30th in passing. Adam Thielen is getting old there. Leggett is, he was a first rounder last year, wasn't he? 32nd pick overall. But I don't know. Let's see about that. Anyway, who's the loser here? Well, you'd think one of them, but no, I have David Moore. David Moore, long-term veteran. I had him at number 3 before, but then we'll push him off and give Leggett since he's got high draft capital. Now, is this going to help Bryce Young push him over to the table or get him past? Well, remember, they benched him early last year. He wasn't doing too good. Came on a little bit last year, but we'll see how that works out. We'll bring out the next winner. Colston Loveland, tight end for the Bears, was a winner, right? They took him. Now, every winner, there's going to be a loser here, and the loser's, of course, going to be Cole Kmet, who was there as the tight end. Finished 19th last year. But you can see very inefficient. The 30 are, actually, that's pretty good. He had the 30 most touches, and he got the 19th at finish. He did pretty good, but only 4 points a game. You know, hey, they were the 31st team in passing. But anyway, I have Cole Kmet going to be the backup now, and I have the Loveland as the top tight end there. And, of course, comes in to new offense, Ben Johnson setting up there, modeled after Detroit. I guess they're thinking of getting a new good tight end. All right, so, all right, he was the winner, and Cole Kmet was the loser. So let's go ahead and bring out the next winner in the draft. Oh, Tyler Warren, another tight end, pick 14, Indianapolis, right? Well, he comes in, going to be the new tight end, Mo Alie-Cox. I mean, he's more of a blocking tight end. So, and he ranked 16th out of 84 for blocking last year. So he's more, and Jonathan Taylor thanks him. Finished 8th overall, has a good blocking tight end. So the receiver will be Tyler Warren, receiver tight end. But I didn't mark down Mo Alie-Cox so much as the loser since he's blocks. I picked this Andrew Ogletree. All right, I figure he'll be the loser. Gets pushed out. I have Mo Alie-Cox, the running back or blocking tight end, is the backup, and I just pushed that Ogletree out. So let's go ahead and bring out the next winner. Ooh, kind of a surprise here, right? Tampa took a wide receiver in the 19th pick, Egbuka from Ohio State. All right, I'm gonna bring him in. Now they got issues at wide receiver, right? Well, I went ahead and brought the loser. Here's McMillan. Kind of showed promise last year, right? 46th overall, but down the stretch when they needed him, when they kept losing receivers, you can see he did pretty good. Let's go back to his, and you can see down the last 5 games there what he was scoring. It was really good. But, you know, he gets pushed down off. I did list Chris Godwin here as the third, even though he's going to be injured, and we don't know how much he's going to miss next year. They are hoping he'll be ready to play at the first week, but I don't know. It was a pretty devastating injury. So they might be seeing how the recovery comes, but I put him as 2. I mean, you're thinking, well, how's he going to get ahead of Chris Godwin? Well, Chris Godwin misses first 6 weeks, you know, and getting older. And Mike Evans is getting older, too. That's probably some of what they're thinking. But it really puts a monkey wrench in McMillan's. He was on a going up, you know, stream was going up. Now he's going down, I guess. How about, Marion Hampton by the Chargers, running back 22 overall. We listed them. Hey, when we were listing the needs, we were listing they needed a running back. Well, this is a pretty good pickup for them, you know. So, and for every winner, you get a loser. Who do I put the loser down? It's Vidal, right? So, the Chargers here already had they made a move. Najee Harris brought him in free agency. And you can see he wasn't very efficient, though. But that was with Pittsburgh, so we were hoping he'd pick up here a little bit with Jar. Well, with Hampton coming to town and being them two are going to battle. So I guess the loser has us in fantasy, because now you're going to have a good possible lead back here. Going to be Sharon. I put Haskin as the third, and Vidal. I mean, when we said, hey, Vidal struggled, looked overmatched in pass protection. If you can't block, you can't pass protect, you're not going to play. Well, he ended up being the loser here in this draft because they got their 1-2 at running back. Let's go ahead and bring out the next one, Matthew Golden here with the Green Bay wide receiver. Hey, I kind of picked that. Hey, he was going to probably come in. The loser I listed for them on this is Wicks, Dontavian Wicks. All right, well, he finished 73rd overall, had the opportunity last year, just didn't make the call here. You know, they had a lot of, they're always hurting here. I didn't mark Christian Watkins in the top here. I left Jaden Reed as the number one. I mean, just familiarity with the team. And he kind of multifaceted. Of course, he's had a down year. All right. Although wait a minute, preseason ranked 23rd, he finished 20th. That wasn't a down year. Just a kind of fifth team in offense, 12th in passing. You think he has the lead, but they had so many here. And now they muddled the water a little bit more. Golden will probably be the second. I have Romeo Dobbs, who is on the last year of his contract. That was kind of the deal. All of them were on their last year of their contract, I think, except Jaden Reed. He was still under a rookie deal till another year. 2 years left. So, hey, but I put Wicks down as a loser. I guess another winner, of course, is Jordan Love, another good target. Maybe they've got their number one wide receiver here now. All right, let's go ahead and bring up the first win. The winner is Dart, right? Well, not Jameis just keeps trying to get out there. Jackson Dart for the Giants, right? 25th pick over. They moved back into the round to get their quarterback. Well, I wasn't too happy with this move. I mean, hey, he could end up being their quarterback. Of course, they said Ole Miss, and of course, Manning, Eli came from there. So Russell Wilson will be their starter. I have him. Dart is the number 2, right? And because, hey, when things go south, and they will, with Russell Wilson as the quarterback, I know that Jameis Winston here is very capable, but I just don't believe that they'll be putting him in. They're going to be building for the future. I mean, if they're already got a losing record, why would you do that? So, hey, Jameis, it's not all bad. You might probably get traded to the first team that needs a quarterback, right? So that's probably what's going to happen to Jameis there. But all right, that's let's zoom out and see what we got here. That's all of them, right? So that's my winners and losers from day one draft round. Let's take a look at this. If you're liking what you're seeing, please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe button. Do it today. Be the first on your block. Hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up. Thank you. All right, it's that time. I need to fill my shorts. Get a short. Make a short out of this. Warning, this is a rapid repeat. Fantasy AI with a look at players who lost in the first round of the draft, like Will Levis. Cam Ward's going to come in and take over that job in Tennessee. Gabe Davis gets pushed down that depth chart with Travis Hunter available at wide receiver for Jacksonville. Amir Abdullah probably won't get re-signed with Ashton Jeanty coming in there. David Moore. Ted McMillan comes in, pushes him well off the depth chart probably. Cole Kmet getting bumped down by Colston Loveland coming in there to the Bears. And same with Ogletree. Tyler Warren coming into Indy. Probably be their number 1 tight end, right? Jalen McMillan, promising end to his year last year, but Egberka going to come in as a promising wide receiver. Going to push him down the depth chart. And Omarion Hampton going to come in, push Vidal down the depth chart, getting crowded there at the Packers wide receiver depth chart with Golden coming in. Wicks is the loser there. And Jameis Winston might be looking for a new team. All right, it's that time. I need to fill my shorts. Get a short, make a short out of this. Warning, this is a rapid repeat. Fantasy AI looking at fantasy players in the first round of the draft, like Cam Ward coming in to be the quarterback at Tennessee. Goodbye, Will Levis. Travis Hunter going to be the second wide receiver. Brian Thomas Jr. there in Jacksonville. Ashton Jeanty, new starter there for Vegas at running back. They needed it. Ted McMillan comes in for Carolina. They needed a one at wide receiver. They got one. Colston Loveland for the Bears comes in at tight end. And Tyler Warren comes in at tight end for the Colts. A couple tight ends there in the middle of the draft. Egberka comes in at wide receiver help for Tampa. How hurt is Chris Godwin? How long will it be before he gets back? Hampton comes in to give Najee some company there in the Chargers. At running back, Matthew Golden comes into the Packers, already a crowded wide receiver room. Maybe they've got a true number one now. And Jackson Dart comes in for the Giants to be their quarterback after Russell Wilson messes up.